Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Bachelor News. It's your boy Dave Neal, host of Bachelor Recap, a guy's review, stand-up comedian, and host of the SAP podcast. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the absurdity that exists around Bachelor Nation thinking we should put any weight into contestants on the show and what they think about politically. Now, look, there's a much greater thing happening out in the real world as far as politics go. We'll talk about it briefly, but we can't not talk about politics when it comes to the show The Bachelor and the common denominator, which is all of these contestants having social media, having their own points of view, their own platforms. But the thing that I wanted to get into is, do we really care? Like, let's bring this first one up here. We have Matt James. Is he a secret Republican? This is a story here that we had yesterday on Vulture. Now, look, half the country, and again, I guess I have to preface this with my own beliefs as a progressive, which would be on the left side of the Democratic Party, although I think progressives need their own party because it's very different than a lot of traditional Democrats. I digress. My thought in life is that, look, most people want the same thing. We just have different routes to get there and different media telling us what we should think. And I think we all spend plenty of money on our tax dollars that doesn't go back to us. And I think that's what a lot of progressive want is, our tax money to come back to us. And I think there's a lot of fear that the country's becoming communist and this and that. But here, as I digress, you've already thumbs me down because you heard, I said progressive and you just thought I was a Tulsi, plant from Iran or whatever it is you guys think. Anyway, so Matt James, is he a secret Republican? Look, we live in a world where you're either for us or you're against us, and that's the way a lot of people think. It's very divisive. Now, what if Matt James was a Republican? It's not like he's spewing any alt-right beliefs into the public world. All we can really judge him on is one episode of The Bachelor and a couple TikTok videos. That's really it. But here we have people sleuthing, as it's called. There's a Bachelor subreddit that was formed to talk about that he was a registered Republican and has an active voting record in New York State as of June 2020. When checked by Vulture on January 5th, James' registration has since changed to not enrolled in a party. So are we going to judge him for his past if he was in a Republican Party and now he's not associated with the party? I mean, it's very absurd. So my question to you guys is, does this stuff matter to you? And I know what some people will say. Well, if you support Republicans, then you support all this, rolling back of rights for minorities and this and that. And that might be true if you look at it in that way. But some people are single party voters and they go, look, no, I'm pro-life and that's it. And they don't even care about the rest. And you can't judge them on something they don't necessarily care about. That might sound like a privilege, but my point is that we all, are raised with impressions from our parents and society. And he grew up in North Carolina and lived in Florida. So are we really shocked that he might be Republican? Like, is this a thing? Are we going to hate him for that? I guess we're supposed to love our neighbors, right? I think we should love Republicans, right? Shouldn't we do that, Democrats and independents and other members of whatever political party? Shouldn't we love thy neighbor? Is this too hippie of me to think, even if we might disagree on certain policies? I don't know. I mean, it's not like he's running around with a MAGA sign attacking people. We'll get into that. So I got all these tabs lined up here, and we'll check out a few of them because obviously this article was written before yesterday's event at the Capitol building. Of course, we're talking about the storming and I don't even know what you would call them. Some are saying domestic terrorists. Obviously, it escalated past peaceful protesting as they stormed insurgents, I guess you would call them. And of course, so a lot of Bachelor Nation former contestants chimed in, but some people didn't. Some people didn't say anything, and they're getting a lot of heat too. So here we have an issue. You have to be on everyone's same political side, but then you have to say something every single day that a tragedy happens. And I get yesterday was a heavy day and it's not over, but just, when 9/11 happens, remember back to 9/11, it's early 2000s, no one had Facebook, didn't exist, right? But Was it expected that you'd make a public statement? I mean, we're all just humans. We're not leaders of, of a certain party. We're not political leaders. Or, it's very strange that like the owner of the Marlins has to make a statement over, X, Y, and Z. It's very strange. I get that we want to share the same beliefs as others. But it's a lot of woke sort of projecting on others. And this is coming from a guy who believes a lot of the things I'm about to read, but it's still alarming to me that we're going to worry that so-and-so thinks a certain way. And it goes in both directions. It's like damned if you say the wrong thing, damned if you don't say anything at all. So let's get into it. We have right here Mike Johnson, of course, from a few seasons ago, said, protester in Pelosi's office. I wouldn't be able to do this. Clearly, if you ever thought otherwise, let today help you swallow the pill that you are part of the problem and you need to fix it. Stand by my ass. Now, look, I'm in full support of using your platform, 100%. My issue back here with Matt James is, like, we're not going to start judging people hypothetically. Oh, well, you were a Republican, so you must have done this. Let's judge people based on where they stand right now. Because growth does happen, and we shouldn't punish people that might have grown up in the some evil church that might have grown up, protesting people's funerals because they were gay. If you grew up that way and you learned and you evolved, let's embrace where you are today. So anyway, Mike posts this, and then of course the next post is, it's sadly hilarious that the following I lose on Instagram and Twitter after I speak on the atrocities that are taking place in our country. Realize I wore the uniform, volunteered my life, and I'm a part of the 1% in this country who has done so. I'm a patriot before reality TV star. That doesn't give you goosebumps. You need a, woo! I'm a patriot before reality TV star. Ashley Spivey in the comments said the trash takes itself out in these situations. Yeah, and this is the problem we have with also like corporate advertisers. They get so worried about like the fringe boycotting them over certain things that they get all gun shy. It's like, look, be gone. Like, honestly, if you guys can't stand my objective opinions because they don't line up with yours and you have to unsubscribe or something, that's ludicrous. Most people that subscribe to my channel, they're not all the same. We have Republicans and Democrats and people from other countries that would be considered Democrats or conservative, whatever. Absolutely insane if we can't have these conversations. Move it along. So yeah, the Bachelor subreddit, it's just insane. On the other end of the ticket, we've got, oh my gosh, James Taylor over here. Remember him from a few seasons ago? Said, were any other Bachelor Nation members at the protest riot today? He said, see y'all in DC, hashtag March for Trump. After he posted this, very funny that before things got violent, people were posting they were going to go to a march. But now you see in the comment section, let's see if I can find out where it was. They talk about him being Antifa. I don't think it was it's not Antifa. Antifa was, anyway, I'm not going to get into the difference between the fringe Antifa versus alt-right. They're completely different sides of the spectrum. They both want a little bit of destruction, maybe. But anyway, they linked his update that he was going to DC on the FBI list that's actually trying to find out who was there. So, he might have just been some random guy wearing yellow Beats headphones, but as of now, they can link this back to him. And if he's seen, I don't know if he went in there. He might have been at Chipotle after a peaceful protest. He has every right to do that. But if he crossed in there, I mean, we're talking about committing federal crimes here, and it's very interesting stuff. Now, back to the side of people that are looking for progress. I mean, look, we got our boy Dale here. Dale, here he is on his Instagram yesterday. Oh, hold on. Let's go back. Oh, boy. He's got all new stuff here. Hold on.
This is disgusting.
Here we go back to the beginning.
Legitimately, the double standard that this presents for everything that was going on after George Floyd and the protests and how people were being treated across the country. This is disgusting. People are literally standing on Capitol Hill and breaking into the building.
Dear Claire in the background.
And nothing's happening. And they're getting praise. Look, everyone keeps coming at me about Democrats versus Republicans, Trump, Biden. This is not political. This is a direct attack on our democracy. And people stormed the Capitol building while Congress was in there. So if you can't see the problem and the issue with that, I think you're missing the entire point.
All right, there it is. Today's not about politics, it's about the soul of our country. I think that's the last one. Let's make sure. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Socrates. Look at this guy, Dale. Whoever thought Dale Moss was going to be pulling up Socrates? The dude's just a stud. Oh, boy. Yeah, so look, I mean, here's the deal, right? It's interesting. You got to be okay with people using their platform for good and for change, and you've also got to not judge people for not using their platform for good and for change. That's all I can say. It's like an added bonus. You're a human. If you have a platform, you can use it in a good direction. You can decide that platform might not be used every single day. You know what I mean? So we've got some interesting stories happening here. Here's a good one. So we have Rachel Kirkconnell. And again, I'm just going to go through these tabs here, a few different things I pulled up today. Rachel Kirkconnell, she's doing it right over there on Bachelor, right? She's one of the new. Let's actually go click on her page here. Can I? Yeah. So this is Rachel. We know Rachel, right? We've only had one episode, so we're still kind of new to who's who. But there she is, the good-looking Rebecca Black, right? Oh, you got to have a mug in your photo. Oh, there's nothing in those mugs. They've never been used. You never, you bought the mugs like that. You got the ripped knees. All right, I'm not here to shame people, but that is a basic girl photo, and I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it. So anyway, she posted yesterday, the type of thing you would expect someone to post. This is what the Capitol steps look like during BLM protests, for the record. And then the next one is, Congressman being very scary thought. This is scary. This is somebody's mom. This is somebody's grandmother. You know what I mean? They should be expected. They're not, they're not in the, they didn't sign, they're not in the Marines over there fighting a war. They're legislative bodies trying to do their job. But anyway, so Rachel posts that, and look, if this is where she is today, that she, is fighting a movement, she's, involved maybe with the progressive movement of wanting equality, not only amongst racial groups, but gender. Of course, it's about equality. That's what it's about. It's about equal opportunity, right? So it's not about equal outcome. It's about equal opportunity. Everyone should have an opportunity at the table, right? So anyway, someone pulled this up from Rachel. And look, I'm not here to judge either one of these photos. I'm going to first start by defending the one on the right. It might sound crazy to a lot of woke people, but desecrating Cinco de Mayo hasn't been something anybody's cared about until 5 years ago. This isn't something anybody cared about. This isn't you know what I mean? Like the arc of morality wasn't even approaching Cinco de Mayo till it was all right, this is we shouldn't be putting on, Mexican mustaches and getting drunk on tequila to celebrate, most Americans think Cinco de Mayo was their Independence Day. It was a war. It was a battle. I'm not going to get into it. But the point is I can't judge this. I don't know when it was taken, and I don't know where they were in society in their little batch where this was okay or not okay. Because I wore a poncho in college and got drunk on Cinco de Mayo too. I mean, far worse than that. And then the one on the left, here we go. Rachel liked a photo with, I'm guessing, I don't think she's in it because did she like her own photo? I don't know who these ladies are, but in the back we have a Confederate flag. And it's look, my fiance is very progressive. She believed, but she also believes in Second Amendment rights, and she's from Kentucky. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago, just like Cinco de Mayo, it wasn't until a couple of years ago that a lot of states saw the Confederate flag as a negative thing. I'm not here to judge people but if you see the Confederate flag yesterday in the Capitol building, that's as close to treason as you're going to get. So I've been all throughout the South. You go to a gas station, the Confederate flag is a brand. It doesn't always, in their mind, stand for a racial issue and slavery. Now, I'm not here defending the Confederate flag. I'm defending Rachel Kirkconnell liking a photo that has a Confederate flag in the background. She's from the South. I don't know when this photo was taken. And I'm not going to say that she's racist. I'm not going to compare her to past contestants who have done racist things. But, here we are when it comes to Becca Cuffrin, right? She broke up with Garrett, who had liked some racist things, and he tried to defend all lives matter. And he did some things that just, agree or disagree, did not line up with what Becca was doing. So I totally am not defending it. But again, there isn't enough context for me to get upset. I think we need a little bit more context to defend people to their own actions. Okay, so here's what was interesting. Brendan, from this past season from Tasha's season and Claire's season, apologized. This is where it gets a little out of hand. Apologized for posting a thirst trap during the riots. So he basically posted, let's go to this page here. This is what he posted, right? And he didn't delete his post. Oh, it looks like he did delete his post. So maybe he didn't delete it, but maybe it disappeared because of stories disappear. But it was just a post of him at a beach, and this is what he responded. I want to apologize for the poor timing of my most recent post. I currently don't have phone service. I can only use my phone when on Wi-Fi. So my post went through as soon as I got back to my hotel before I had the chance to hear about the news. I was completely unaware of what had transpired in the Capitol today, which I'm in disbelief about, but I'm informing myself now on what's going on. It was not my intention to be insensitive to what occurred. I sincerely apologize. Look, Brendan, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize for being on vacation and some group stormed the Capitol and you weren't aware of it. This is getting insane, folks. This is getting insane that Brendan Moraes, whatever his name is, that like somebody's, in a group of people are at home going, how dare you be at a beach right now when the country's under siege? Bro, like if anyone's traveled internationally, you totally understand. You don't have Wi-Fi. You get back to the hotel, all your fun little tweets go up that you banged it at the beach. Absolutely insane, folks. Insane. Let the bro post his photos. Like you're actually pushing good people away when you're too worried about like everybody's thought at every given time. He doesn't work for CNN. You know what I mean? He was on a dating reality show. It's getting insane. Here's also where it's a little crazy, and I'm not exactly sure what side I'm on here, so let's talk it out. Another post on Reddit that said, that felt good unfollowing every single one of these people, because if you're going to make a living out of being an influencer, why not try to actually use your influence for good? So basically, this is somebody who unfollowed everyone who, this is Instagram from Lazy Bachelor Fan. It says, raise your hand if you have over 1 million followers and didn't condemn the attempted coup by white supremacists today. And these are all the people in Bachelor Nation that apparently didn't release a press statement on their points of view on a crazy domestic terrorist situation. Chris Harrison, JoJo, Colton, Colton's not chiming in, Hannah, Tyler, Nick, the Rhode Island guy's girlfriend, Laura, Ari, oh come on, of course Ari's not gonna say anything. Ben, who's this? Is that Caitlin? She's in Canada. What do we care? Who's this over here? I can't even tell who this is right here. Let me know. Nick, that's not Nick File. There's Nick File. Wow, boy, the same people. They all look the same. Tyler's chiseled. Boy, you mean insanity, folks. Insanity. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment. What are your thoughts on every single contestant who's got a following needing to chime in with a teardrop or whatever it is? I mean, look, and maybe this is just me, some loner stand-up comic who doesn't like to be told what to do, but there are good people that might take a day off from social media. It's like follow trusted news sources for your information. And by all means, if you don't like boycott, the Bill Cosby show. Yeah, by all means, if you don't support Bill Cosby. But, for the 80 other people that are getting residual checks for that, you're hurting them too. That's a bad example. Boycott somebody like Garrett if you don't like Garrett. Or with the guy Stormin, boycott them for sure. But if Brendan's like at the beach and he's late to posting a video, let's pipe down. Let's pipe down on expecting this 24-hour news cycle. Because you know what you're doing? You're exhausting people. You know what I mean? Take a step away. Go walk your dog. The poor dog's lonely. Go walk the dog, guys. Like, hypothetically, walk your dog. Get out. The news is happening. You're not controlling it. And I'm not saying don't be a part of a good movement, but let's not just burn every bridge we can because the day that something happened, people didn't post about it on all of their platforms. Absolutely insane. And here's the last one. Matt James posted this now deleted photo after people told them to read the room. And this was Matt James posting a photo of him golfing. And again, it comes all to the same thing. Like, this photo might have been in his pipeline, whatever. Who knows? I mean, but come on, guys. Come on. Let's do a little better. And then a completely different story. Oh, my connection's gone here. I might have lost this one. Completely different story. Kaylee responds to Connor Daly's now deleted tweet. So apparently this tweet went viral from Connor Daly, who I guess is a driver. Is he NASCAR? I'm not even going to Google it. He said, anyone want to guess which girl on the new season of The Bachelor I booked a flight to Hawaii for 6 years ago and she never showed up? And then Kaylee Anderson said, sorry, I wasn't that interested. Stop trying to make this date seem like an obligation when I canceled in advance. All right, I'd like to know how early in advance she canceled. There's still like a $200 fee for canceling. I think he owes her a Venmo request for the $200, but without further context, it's a pretty funny like side story. Like the guy tried to slam a girl, but it was his own getting rejected. You know what I mean, man? Like, you're not going to win that convo. Anyway, that's all I got for news. Today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be going live on my live stream, which is on my YouTube channel. So just click the little alert button. 4 p.m. live. You can call into the voicemail and let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment below and let me know. Are we getting out of hand with this, guys? Are we getting out of hand with treating JoJo any better? It's like, all right, so you performed in a fantasy suite. You hooked up in a yurt in a desert, and now we need to know that you stand for everything on every single day. I mean, it's a little bananas to me, but that's it, folks. Have a good one. See you at 4 o'clock.